Off the beef show today, Class 1 Angus Heifers. Dinner search for the evening. John Jacobs. He resides in Liberty Center, Indiana. He grew up showing cattle and attended Black College. He was a member of the live judging team. After receiving his associate's degree, he transferred to Kansas State University, where he received his first degree in animal agribusiness. While at K-State, he was on the reserve national champion livestock judging team. His wife Maddie and him, along with his son Jensen, own and operate just cattle, and he works for Johnson Production with a focus on relations and sales. Let's welcome John Jacobs to Allen County. Class 1 Angus Heifers is in the ring. Class 2 Heifers in the ring, along with Class 3 Shorthorn.
Well, first of all, I'd like to welcome everybody here. It's certainly a pleasure and an honor to be back here in Allen County to be able to sort your beef cattle show, and kind of like the representative that we have here in the Angus division. I personally don't really care if you've got 100 of them in the class or if you have a single entry like this young man. If you can bring quality like he has and the kind of stock that he's brought us today, that gets me excited as a judge. This one is extremely powerful. She's really maternal in her build, if you will. She's a massive beast. I love the body and the capacity that she offers. She's obviously extremely easy fleshing and maintaining, and we like that fact as we project her out in terms of making a brood cow. She's just really powerful and dimensional. I love her feet and legs. Maybe she's a little quick in terms of a maturity curve. Maybe could freshen her up just a nickel, but the young man's got a really highly presented, high quality female here in this Angus division to go ahead and get us started off. Everyone, put your hands together for this young man for an outstanding project.
Your champion Angus heifer is exhibited by Dylan Paul. Your champion Angus heifer is sponsored by Lansing Angus. Next ring, you have Class 2 Kian heifers with a single entry. Back in the barn, Class 2 Kian heifers in the ring. Class 3 heifers.
Once again, we've got a nice representation here in the Chiania division. Young lady's got a heifer that's maybe a little contrary to the Angus heifer that we just saw out here. This one's a little more up-headed and really attractive. I love the femininity that this heifer offers. At the same time, I think this one's really nice in terms of her composition, her correctness. She's really fresh in terms of body condition, if you will. She's good in terms of her feet and bone. She's got plenty of shape and muscle as you study her there. She's not nearly as soft-bodied and just good and maternal in her rib cage, but that's a really nice heifer that represents the Chiania division extremely nice. Once again, put your hands together for this young lady.
Congratulations to Ms. Kylie Cripps for exhibiting the Champion Chiania heifer. Your Champion Chiania heifer is also sponsored by Gwen and Evan Brubaker. Now in the ring is Class 3 Shorthorn heifer with two entries. Once again, we've got a really nice pair of shorthorn females out here. The one closest to me is the oldest heifer out here, but that's not why she wins. She's a January, and we've got a May on the other side. She is certainly bigger, but and she's older, but again, it's really her quality that allows her to get out and win. She just looks like a phenomenal brood cow to me. She's one that's really balanced extremely nicely. I think when you compare her to the heifer that ends up in second, particularly on the move, I think she just collects herself and holds herself together and balances a little bit nicer than the roan heifer that comes out in second. I like her chest a little bit more correctly. I think she ties in with more strength there in her top line. She's one that's got a tremendous amount of foot and bone. I like the spread and the width compared to the heifer that comes out second. She's really bold in the shape and curvature to her rib. Again, I just project this one and read a phenomenal brood cow in the making for this young lady. Young man's heifer that comes out here in second, again,
again, she's certainly good in terms of her body condition. She's soft enough in her rib cage, and I like that about her. She's probably got as much flex at the ground and in her hock as anything that we've had out here. She, to me, needs to balance up just a little bit. Study her from the side to compete with the heifer that wins. She wants to fall out in her chest a little bit, a little heavier in her navel, and one break there in her loin. But those are two awfully nice shorthorn females to represent that breed. Let's give both exhibitors an excellent round of applause.
Winning Class 3 Shorthorn Heifers goes to Miss Gwen Brubaker. Second is Evan Brubaker. This is also, Gwen is exhibiting your champion Shorthorn Heifer, and Evan will be exhibiting your reserve champion Shorthorn Heifer. And the champion Shorthorn Heifer is sponsored by Amy and Carly Kent. Coming into the ring is Class 4 Shorthorn Plus Heifers with a single entry.
The young ladies brought us. I think whether you're raising bulls, steers, or even trying to make replacements for the next generation, I think this one in front of us is one that could certainly generate some awfully good stock. She's a quality female. She's awfully impressive in terms of the power that she offers. When you study her from her shoulders back, that is one-dimensional beast. She's big-bodied. She's powerfully hipped. She's one that gets out and goes, and I like that fact about her. She's one that's flexible enough with all that power to go ahead and handle that. At the same time, she is, at the same time, like we said, she's extremely flexible to handle all that mass and power. We like that about her. Some could say she maybe is a little bit moderate and maybe has a little too much power relative to the game we're in, but certainly handles it plenty well, in my opinion. Let's go put your hands together for an outstanding job in your Shorthorn Plus division.
Exhibiting your champion Shorthorn Plus heifer is Miss Holly Howard, sponsored by Bushing Peat Moss. Next in the ring, we have Class 5 heifers with 2 entries.
Really nice pair of males out here in our commercial division. The young man in the center of the ring with the red heifer, he's going to have our champion, and I think, in my opinion, she's kind of the combination heifer that we have out here. Not only is she by some margin better in terms of her composition, her freshness and leanness and trimness as you study her, I think that does well for this heifer, particularly whenever you set them in motion. I think the heifer that ends up in second kind of gets hit from that fact, the fact that she is a little heavy in terms of her condition, and it slows her up in her movement just a little bit. But that's where I like this heifer. And if you ask me and say, John, is she just perfect in her structure? I'm going to tell you, no, she's probably needs to be a little bit more ideal from her hooks back and pins down, but she's certainly a lot more correct in her angles than is the heifer that comes out in second. She's so much longer patterned. She's more feminine up through her front end. She lays in more correctly about her shoulder, and when the young man gets her planted, gets her back down, she paints a really outstanding picture from the side. I just think she's quite a bit more feminine in her features and more functional in her build and structure than is the heifer here in two. At the stand, the young lady's heifer here in second is pretty overwhelming. She is extremely massive. She's big-bodied. She's huge-footed and legged. She's one that's really powerful and dimensional in terms of the shape and the muscle that she offers. To me, when you set them in motion, that's where that one gets in trouble. Not only is she a little quick in her maturity, or maybe a little more condition on her than ideal, she still see a little bit stiff in terms of her movement. If we could loosen her up and flex her a little bit better, she could think about working to the top end of that class. Really outstanding pair. Go ahead and put your hands together for both of those two exhibitors.
Class 5, as well as exhibiting your champion commercial heifer is in Paul, and second, and your reserve champion commercial heifer is exhibited by Holly Howard.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you, there's several people here even older than I am, and right here on this table we have the old banners that we're discontinuing, and some of these date back as far as the Coliseum days. So if you had a breed champion heifer or a steer, or you done good in showmanship, chances are we have a real old banner that we used up to about last year. So they're free on a first come, first served basis, and it appeals to you. Just come here and look at them, because if nobody takes them, they'll probably be destroyed. So they're free. Just help yourself if that is of interest to you.
Coming in the ring, we have your grand champion female selection. Exhibiting your champion Angus is exhibited by Dylan Paul. Your champion Kiania heifer is exhibited by Kylie Cripps. Your champion Shorthorn heifer is exhibited by Gwen Brubaker. Your champion Shorthorn Plus heifer is exhibited by Holly Howard. And your champion commercial heifer is exhibited by Dylan Paul. is making his selection our champion in female. I wanted to introduce one of our honor achievers, Mr. Ethan Beaupre, who is helping us here in the ring. Ethan is son of Mark and Lisa Beaupre of Maine. He is a 4-H member of the Eel River 4-H Club and will be a senior at high school. Thank you, Ethan, for being here with us tonight. Also, if you want to snack while you're watching the show, please visit the food outside the show barn for a variety of your favorites at some wonderful prices, and all roads benefit Allen County 4-H.
As we get out here for our champion lineup here in the female show, again, like we talked before, maybe not tremendous numbers, but boy, if you ask me, quality beats numbers any day of the week. And we've got an outstanding representation of each breed out here. And for that, my hat's off to the exhibitors and the breeders and those that help behind this to get these cattle presented like they are. Extremely high quality set of females out here. So again, thank you for bringing these projects, getting them to this point, and getting them fit and fed and to this point like you have. One hit me extremely hard, I'll be honest, when she came into class. She's more my kind than we have out here. In my opinion, wins for fun. I think it gets really challenging for reserve. And for reserve, I think there's 4 different ways you can go, and I wouldn't argue with you if you said, boy, you should have really used this one, John, instead of that one. Okay, I can see that, but I'm going to go ahead and select your champion. We'll pick a reserve as well, but before we do that, put your hands together for an outstanding job here in the Heifer Show for these young kids.
Exhibiting your grand champion female is the champion heifer by Mr. Dylan Paul. And your grand champion goes to the Shorthorn heifer, exhibited by Gwen Brubaker. Congratulations to our exhibitors and our 4-H'ers. Your grand champion banner is by BadClass, and your reserve grand champion female banner is in memory of August and Cruzy. Next in the ring, we have our junior heifer calves, class single entry.
The young ladies brought us a really intriguing heifer here to start off our feeder capture, the heifer division. She's a Scottish Highlander, and I don't know that I've ever had the privilege to sport a Scottish Highlander, but I really like a lot of things about this breed, and they're really probably more of a T breed, but it's really intriguing to see how neat cattle are, volume of hair that they can have, and moderate frame. They're easy maintaining. They're normally really good build structured, and this one appears that she's going to be the same way. She's really flexible if you study her and her joints and her angles. She's nice bodied. She's moderate framed. She's going to be a really nice project for this young lady. Let's give her and this Scottish Highlander a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to Miss Kylie Cripps for winning Class 6 Junior Heifer Calves. Next in the ring, we have Class 7 Junior Heifer Calves with 2 entries.
A really outstanding pair of females here in this particular drive, and to be honest with you, they're really polar opposites in their kind and their build and really what they offer. The one that's be the best is the ring, not because she's bigger, but just as the way she's built. She's built more like a female. She's more thin. She is absolutely neck. The way her ties in outside of her shoulders. She's a lot flatter in terms of her shoulder, and I think for this, or for me, the place where she really gets the advantage is when you set them in motion and watch this one get out of particularly her front end. The angle to her shoulders more appropriate. The way she's set further back in her knee, I think she's quite a bit more functional in her angles and long term to make an extremely nice brood cow. I think that's set in there just more ideal than is the smoky heifer that comes out second. And then when you combine that with the fact that she's really bold sprung, she's got a nice swoop to her body, she's powerfully hipped, and she's one that, like we said before, gets out and travels extremely nice. I think that's just an outstanding place to go ahead ahead and start. The young lady has brought us an intriguing one that hit me extremely hard when she came into class. She's extremely nice haired and good presented. She's one that's more moderate frame. She's patterned extremely beautiful. To me, this one gets maybe a little bit more compact. She's maybe a little clubbier, if you will. And if you like that kind to try to generate some steers, then hey, maybe she's the one for you. To me, I'd like to change her shoulder and knee placement just a little bit, give her a little bit more flex out of her front end or reach out of her front end, and then I think we could certainly try to move her up in this class. But I think regardless, that's an extremely nice pair of females. Both of those exhibitors need to be commended. So put your hands together for those two.
Winning Class 7 is Miss Caitlin Hockemeyer, second, Addison Richardson. Walking into the ring now is our Grand Champion Junior Heifer Drive.
As we get three cattle back here in our junior heifer division, again, Jerry and I were talking over here just a minute ago. You have about you choose from here in front of. So if you like them small and cute and hairy and flexible, you've got option. You've got them really powerful and stout, big-legged, and maybe a little clear. And then, like we talked out of that last class, one that's super attractive. She's awfully functional. She's good in terms of her rib cage and body. You certainly have to appreciate that about. So three really nice representations. I'll go ahead and let you know the one that I like the best is the young lady out of the center. The second ring, she's going to be our champion. We're going to follow her up with the young lady with the silver heifer. Put your hands together for all of these exhibitors out here.
Congratulations to Miss Hockemeyer for exhibiting the Grand Champion Junior Heifer Calf. And another congratulations goes out to Miss Addison Richardson for exhibiting your Reserve Grand Champion Junior Heifer Calf. Next in the ring, we have Class 8, the first class of our beef feeder calves with 2 entries.
Got a nice pair of steer calves here to start off this particular calf division. Two with a lot of similarities that we have in front of us. For me, the one that just has more bulk and dimension, more power as you study them from end to end is the young ladies that's closest to me. She's going to start the class, and I like this one's shape. His muscularity as you read him up high. He just has more pin width as you study him from behind. He's more dimensional in his hip and quarter. And then when you take him to the ground, read more foot and bone underneath this guy. He's just more dimensional and truer in his shape from end to end. The steer that comes out in second is one that's really patterned, extremely nice. He's smooth and correct. He's probably even a little softer in his rear ankles than is the steer that leads the class. He's good in his top line. He's level out of his hip. We just need to gauge him a nickel wider with the one that wins this class. But two really nice steers to go ahead and compete in this particular division. Put your hands together for both of those exhibitors.
Congratulations to Miss Ashley Hadley for winning and getting second in Class 8 with her beef-feeder calves. Coming into the ring now is Class 9 with a single entry. Just want to catch up on, thank our sponsors for the Grand Champion Junior Heifer Calf was Pete Moss and Mulch. And your Reserve Grand Champion Heifer Calf banner was sponsored by David and Beverly Solomon.
Young ladies brought us another really high quality, outstanding feeder calf project that she's got here center of the ring. One that we talked, the quality, the look, the pattern of this, really ideal in terms of what we're looking for. This one not only balances extremely nice, but his shape is right there where it needs to be. He's square, he's level, he travels good enough, he's really nice in his body. Certainly a really nice product on the road for her. Put your hands together for her as she exits the ring.
Winning Class 9 is Caitlin Hockmeyer. Next, we will be selecting our Grand Champion and Reserve Grand Champion beef feeder calf.
Once again, as we get these three back out, we're impressed with them. Again, not the number, qualities what matters, and have that out here. We've got good beef cattle, got functional cattle. These cattle are all good on their feet and legs. They're good ribbed. They're cattle that have an efficient, good feeding look to them. Not only that, but the good cattle as well. They're shaped up. They've got a nice dimension look to them, and for that I appreciate the fact that these are going to be cattle that can perform and be there in the end. Be what this project is actually utilized for. There is one that has more look and balance and quality, in my opinion. The young lady out of the center, the second class, she's going to have our champion again. The young lady, our first class that won that. She'll be put your hands together for all of these exhibitors.
Congratulations to Caitlin Hockmeyer for exhibiting the Grand Champion Beef Feeder Calf, and Miss Ashley Hadley for exhibiting the Reserve Champion Beef Feeder Calf. The Grand Champion Beef Feeder Calf is sponsored by Gwen and Evan Brubaker. Your Reserve Grand Champion Beef Feeder Calf banner is sponsored by Bushings, Peat Moss, and Mulch. Next in the ring, we are going to be starting our market beef show, starting with Class 10, Kiania steers with a single entry. I want to start again by introducing our judge for tonight, Mr. John Jacobs. He resides in Liberty Center, Indiana, and grew up showing cattle and attended Black Hawk College, where he was a member of the livestock judging team. After receiving his associate's degree, he transferred to Kansas State University, where he received his bachelor's degree in animal agribusiness. While at K-State, he was on the Reserve National Champion Livestock Judging Team. His wife, Maddie, and him, along with their son, Jensen, own and operate Jacobs Cattle. He currently works for Johnson Petroleum with a focus on customer relations and sales. Let's give a round of applause and thank our judge, Mr. John Jacobs, for being with us tonight.
Got a really standing to start off our steer show. The young lady's got our champion Kiania steer in here in the middle, and an awfully nice representation at that. This is a really practical, feeding looking steer. One that has a lot of qualities and characteristics that we look for in just a good feeding practical steer. He's big body, he's bold. He's one really powerful in terms of the muscle and the shape that he offers. And I think when you talk about one that's going to grade, he's mature, and he's one that is hanging extremely nice. Go ahead. We see motion. We could certainly change his angles just a little bit and free him up off of both ends. But a really bold, really powerful steer to go ahead and start off our steer show. Champion Kiania steer. Give this young lady a really nice round of applause.
Congratulations to Miss Addison Richardson for exhibiting the champion Kiania steer, sponsored by Jerry and Pam Ott. Next in the ring, Class 11 Maine steers with a single entry.
Got a really impressive individual out here in our Maine division. The young lady's red steer that she has out here, I like a great deal. When you start at the ground and just study his feature and his bone work and his feet, he's extremely stout and bold. He's one that's good in terms of his center body and the shape that he has to his rib cage. He's one that's extremely powerfully muscled. You get your hands on him. I love the shape in his back and his top line. He's one that's good necked. You could talk all day about ones like this, and you can certainly get a little nitpicky on his kind here and there, but that is an awfully good, high-quality Maine steer that she's brought us. Put your hands together, and it'll be interesting to see what lines up camper.
Congratulations to Ms. Caitlin Hockmeyer for exhibiting your champion Maine steer, sponsored by Knots Angus. Next ring, we have Class 12 County Born and Bred steers with a single entry. For those that couldn't make it here tonight and are watching online, we would just like to thank our stream sponsors, Schaefer Incorporated and Allen County Farm Bureau, for making it possible for others that aren't able to be here tonight to watch online and watch our 4-Hers. So thank you to the two sponsors.
The young ladies brought us a really outstanding county bred steer, and as we get into the county bred class here, I don't know who raised this calf, but my hat's off to them, as well as the young lady who's fed it and fit it and exhibited it. She's doing a phenomenal job. Not only has she done a tremendous job feeding this steer because he's extremely fresh, he's on point in terms of his weight, he's perfect in terms of his maturity, but on top of that, I really like this calf in terms of his quality. He's got a good shape of muscle to him. He's really correct as you watch him get out and go and flex as he gets out on the. There's just a lot of things to like about a basic, big, well-conditioned steer that's mature and ready to go to the rail, and this one is a really nice job that the young lady, this one's a really nice presentation that the young lady's done an outstanding job. Put your hands together for her on an outstanding county-born steer.
Congratulations to Miss Ashley Hadley for exhibiting your Champion County Board and Bred steer. In the ring, we have 13, a market heifer with a single entry.
Young lady's brought us a really nice market heifer out here to evaluate. She's done an outstanding job feeding this one as well. As you get your hands on her, she's tremendously fresh to the touch. I like the shape of muscle that she offers as you evaluate her up high. She's one that's good in terms of her body depth and symmetrical look. I think she's really just a fantastic representation of a good market heifer, just in terms of being mature. She's ready to roll. She's got the right amount of maturity and condition on her, and I just see her being a really nice project for the young lady. Put your hands together and congratulate our champion market heifer.
Congratulations to Miss Kylie Cripps for exhibiting your market heifer. Next in the ring, we have Class 14 crossbred steers with a single entry.
Young ladies brought us a nice crossbred steer that's going to be our champion crossbred. I think the most impressive part about this calf was when you start at the ground, the feature that he has, the bone work, and just his feet and bones are impressive. He's extremely flexible whenever you watch him get out and go, and I like that about him. From there up, I personally think he needs a little bit more time on feed. He's weighing about 1090, I believe she said, so he's maybe not quite in terms of his maturity curve. You get hands on him, he's a little barer and harsher to the touch, but boy, he's shaped really nice. He's long necked, he's good fronted, and I love his bone work and the flexibility that she has. Go ahead and put your hands together and congratulate her on her champion crossbred steer.
Congratulations to Miss Kylie for exhibiting your champ crossbred steer. Champion crossbred steer banner is sponsored by Jan Hitzman. Next in the ring, the judge will be selecting our grand champion and reserve grand champion market beef. Starting us off, we have our champion Kiania steer exhibited by Miss Addison Richardson. Our champion Maine steer is exhibited by Miss Caitlin Hockmeyer. Our champion county Bred is exhibited by Miss Ashley Hadley. Our champion market heifer is exhibited by Miss Kylie Cripps, as well as Kylie is exhibiting your champion crossbred steer. Thank you, Mr. John Jacobs, for sorting our Allen County Beef Show tonight. I also wanted to give a shout out to our rock star ringmen that are helping us in the ring tonight. We have Mr. Don Rodenbeck, Mr. Rob Knott, and Mr. Jerry Ott. So let's thank them for helping out tonight. Thank you, gentlemen.
As we get out here in our champion drive, it's been a pleasure to be able to see quality livestock out here in the ring, but just as important for that, I'm sure these kids are proud to be able to represent not only this county but this species, and more importantly, have all you folks around ringside again, and be able to interact with you and be able to show their projects off to you. It certainly is welcoming to be able to have a crowd back here in the stands, and I appreciate all you guys for being here, and I'm sure they do as well. Like she said on the mic, I want to reiterate the fact that I appreciate my ringmen doing an outstanding job out here and helping the flow of things as we continue on here. As we bring these cattle back out here, I think there's a lot of representations amongst these breeds that you can talk for a long time about, and I'm extremely proud of what we have here within these breeds. I think for me, again, we've got good basic built cattle. I think we've got cattle that are fundamentally correct, that are good-bodied, ones that are in terms of their feeding ability and their kind. They're heavy-muscled cattle, but still have a balanced look. And when you can combine all of that with a little bit of a show steer look, I think that's when you really get the upper level, high quality ones that we're looking for. And for me, there's one out here that does that. For reserve, it gets a little closer in my opinion, but to me it boils down to function and mobility. And you say these are just steers. They need to be able to get up to the feed bump. Yeah, you're right. But it really, in a real world scenario, when we focus on fat cattle, most of those cattle are fed out west, and to go from a feed bunk to a water, or from a water back to the feed bunk, that's a long haul. So these cattle need to be functional, they need to be mobile and correct, and really that's what sorts reserve in my opinion. Before we let these go, put your hands together one more time for them. An outstanding show, and I'll pick you a champion in reserve.
Congratulations to Miss Kate Lockmeyer for exhibiting your Grand Champion Market Beef. And congratulations goes to Miss Ashley Hadley for exhibiting your Reserve Grand Champion Market Beef. Your Champion Rate of Gain is exhibited by Miss Addison Richardson with her Kiania steer. And your Reserve Champion Rate of Gain is exhibited by Miss Caitlin Hockmeyer with her Maine steer. Sponsoring the Grand Champion Market Beef banner is Ag Plus Incorporated, and sponsoring the Reserve Grand Champion Market Beef banner is Solomon Farms, Brian and Sue Solomon. Just a reminder to those 4-Hers to turn in your yellow card within an hour of the show ending, marking whether your animal is going home, if it's consigned, or if it's going through the auction. Don't leave us soon. We are going starting our showmanship classes, starting with junior showmanship, grades 3, 4, and 5. In the ring, we have junior showmanship. We just have one showman in this division.
We've only got out here in our junior division of showmanship. She hit the ring after, did you scare everybody else away? And she said, well, I don't know. But she does a phenomenal job, whether she's out here by herself or if there was competition. It'd take quite a bit of competition to get around her. She's I love the comp that she has, her presence and the way she handles herself. She does an outstanding job. As you can see, she understands the basics in terms of feet placement and presence and all of the above. I did talk to her about maybe starting to learn to walk her cattle into it as she gets older and moves up in levels, but she does a phenomenal job. She gets the basics and the fundamentals. So put your hands together. She is our champion junior showman. She does an outstanding job.
Congratulations to Miss Addison Richardson for being your champion junior showman. Next in the ring, we have our intermediate showmanship class.
As we get out here in our intermediate division of showmanship, I really am just encouraged by the quality of young kids that you have out here. There's a lot of drive and determination. There's a lot of quality amongst these kids, and they seem to be fairly receptive to the words of wisdom that I gave them, and they're all doing a phenomenal job. There's little things that separate the differences between them out here, and I went through and discussed each of these kids, maybe some things that I would tweak and some things that I really like. To me, I think it gets really close, really close at the top end, and you can sort them how you want them. I'm okay with it either way, but I think there's some advantages both ways, and all of these kids do a phenomenal job, but I think our top two are excellent showmen. We've only got 3 awards, but we're going to point out the young lady right in front of me with the steer, the solid black steer. She's going to be 4th. She does an outstanding job. I talked to her, maybe just work on feet placement a little bit more efficiently, and we can certainly work her up in this class. 3rd for me is the young lady to my with the black and white steer. Again, I love her calm presence. She does a really nice job in terms of eye contact and just being calm and collected. She can maybe be just a notch more assertive at times and be a little more direct with her feet placement. We talked through that and maybe talked about how she can walk them into it just a little bit better to be more efficient. And again, she can compete with our top two. Top two get really close, and I think there's a lot of differences. The young man is one that I like the fact that the first time I saw him in here, he was able to walk his heifer into it, and that's a big deal to me. And I commended him for that. I think he does a really nice job in terms of his presence and eye contact. I told him to maybe change the way he holds his heifer's head and maybe get it closer to her face for a little bit more control of her. But all in all, the young man does a really nice job. The young lady right there in front of me with the red steer, every time she's just got that steer set up where he needs to be in terms of feet placement. She's probably as correct and accurate as any of them we have seen out here. She's really good in terms of her presence. You can tell she's hit the ring many a times just in the way she goes about it, her transitions, her movements, and the way she can get these cattle stuck. I'm not going to take away anybody for being good. I don't care if you're old or young. The young lady, she's going to be our champion. Young man, he'll be reserved.
Congratulations to our champion intermediate showman, Miss Caitlin Hockmeyer. Your reserve champion intermediate showman is Evan Brubaker. 3rd intermediate showman is Miss Ashley Hadley. And 4th in intermediate showmanship is Miss Kylie Cripps. Next in the ring, we have our senior showmanship with 2 4-H'ers coming in the ring. Shortly after that, we will be going into our overall showmanship, which includes your senior, intermediate, junior showmanship winners, and all previous senior showmanship winners as well.
Got a really outstanding pair of senior showmen out here, and my compliments to them, and I appreciate the fact that they took the time to come out here and be competitive in this division. And I didn't need to say any words to them because I think both of them are high quality showmen out here that do an awesome job. And I would take either one of them any day of the week to exhibit cattle for us in our program. So that says a lot. But both of them, I think, do a really correct job in their transitions and their fundamentals. Both of them are phenomenal. There's really little minor things that separate this pair. To me, the young man does a really basic job. He is super calm and he's really collected. He's one that's correct in everything he does. I like the fact that he can walk his heifer into it as well. As you heard me talk already, that's extremely important in my opinion, but he does a really nice job at it. Does he have some bells and whistles and a few extras that maybe some others have had in the ring today? Maybe not, but man, I love his presence and the correct job that he does, and getting those cattle presented is what the name of the game is, and he does a really nice job at that. The young lady in front of him is one that to me does a phenomenal job at walking her cattle into it as well. I like her presence. To me, I could kick her up just a gear, just a little bit, particularly on the move. I like when you're standing, your presence and how you handle everything at the stand. For me, I could kick you up just a notch when we get them in motion, just speed it up a nickel. But man, that's getting really critical because you're going to be our champion senior showman. Young man, he'll be reserved.
Congratulations to our champion senior showman, Miss Holly Howard. And your reserve senior showman is Mr. Dylan Paul. Next in the ring, we will have our overall beef showmanship. Our overall showman in the beef barn will compete on Sunday, August 1st at noon in the Showman of Showmen contest in the horse arena, starting in the horse arena and then moving to the show barn to complete the rest of the classes. So if you want to come back to the fair, come on back on Sunday and join us in cheering on all of our 4-H'ers and showmen that are representing each species in the Showman of Showmen contest. Again, to all our 4-H'ers, those selling in the auction, you have 1 hour or within the show ending 1 hour to let the committee know and turning in your cards on whether you will be taking your animal home, consigned, or going through the auction. So please be sure to get on that and give your yellow cards to our committee. Our junior beef showmanship plaque is sponsored by Larry and Beth Dawson. Our intermediate beef showmanship plaque is sponsored by Knott's Landing Angus. Our senior beef showmanship plaque is sponsored by Bushings, Peat Moss, and Mulch. And our overall showmanship plaque is in memory of Mark Beaupre.
As we get ready to conclude here, we've got a phenomenal set of kids that have done an outstanding job in here, and I truly mean that. For a supreme deal in each age division that we have, there's some outstanding talent out here, so your future is in good hands, not only with good individuals, but good showmen out here that are doing an outstanding job presenting their cattle. They're doing an outstanding job getting these cattle to this point, and my hat's off to them from a showmanship standpoint. Congratulations. Before we close this, once again, I'd like to say thanks to my ringmen for doing an outstanding job and helping me out tonight. I'd also like to thank Allen County once again for allowing me to come back and to have the opportunity to work with your young kids and be able to sort through your livestock. Yeah, we said it again, or we said it once before. There wasn't a tremendous amount of numbers, but I really enjoy the quality that we offer up here. I really enjoy the young kids that are pleasant to be around, and that's not always said at every county fair that you go to. So put your hands together for everybody that's entered the ring and done an outstanding job. We can only select one, I believe, and okay, never mind, 1, 2, and 3. So unfortunately, there's going to be one left out. 1, 2, and 3. I was only thinking we had to do one. That makes my job tougher. No, it's okay. We'll get through this. Your fourth place, if we had to do a 4, young lady to the right, our youngest division, she's going to be 4th place. Give her a nice round of applause. I think 2 and 3 are really close, but for me, the young lady in front with the red steer, phenomenal job, and I think time is on her side. I love the fact that she, her feet placement and her balanced look every time and the way she transitions. Phenomenal job. She's got a bright future. She's going to be 3rd. First and second, obviously, are over here on my left in no particular order. Both of them are really good. One hit me pretty hard when I saw her come in, and I think that's probably a dead giveaway. But the young lady with the Shorthorn heifer, she's going to be 2nd. The Shorthorn Plus, she's going to be our winner.
Congratulations to our overall beef showman, Miss Holly Howard. Your reserve overall beef showman is Miss Gwen Brubaker. Your 3rd overall showman is Miss Caitlin Hockmeyer. And your 4th overall showman is Miss Addison Richardson. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight to the beef show, and have a safe drive home.